Hey guys, let's talk about ankle locks. Why do they tend to be so successful at the lower belts? One reason has to do with the rules. Ankle locks are always going to be legal at high level competitions, but local competitions, they sometimes may be or may not be. Depending on what the rules are, it's going to change how we practice or how we play the game. So Brad's able to successfully get an ankle lock on CJ. But if you're a white belt or even a blue belt, you might not spend much time doing ankle locks. Maybe you're training for competitions where they're not legal, so you may not be spending much time in it. And that's going to bring me to my next point, time spent drilling these things. Brad's a purple belt. He probably has more time drilling ankle locks than CJ does training at all. And I'm saying that because I know CJ is fairly inexperienced. That's not a criticism. And before we move to the next point, let's just take a look at the technical application of this ankle lock. So Brad has control of the foot. The next key here is to put CJ onto his butt, which he does here, and now he's starting to crank on the ankle lock. CJ had a grip on the rash guard, but that's not going to cut it. You got to grab his arm and pull him in. That's why you see ankle locks less often in the gi, because when you wear the gi, your body's covered in handles, so it's much easier for a partner to grab you and bring you in close. Now let's talk about time spent. There's blue belts out there or other belts that the majority of what they practice in their jiu-jitsu training is leg attacks. The first drill they do is heel hooks, then they do ankle locks, knee bars. There's people out there that spend a lot of time in these positions, and if you go against someone that they've done 100 classes on leg locks and you've only done one in the past 6 months, they have an advantage over you. I do a class once a week that focuses solely on leg attacks. Footlock Thursday, you're all welcome to come. But think about it in this terms of a year. After a year's worth of time, all my students will have 52 hours potentially attacking and defending leg attacks. And to me, that's very, very valuable time. If someone else only has, say, 3, 4, even 10 hours attacking and defending legs, that's nowhere close to 52 hours. That's so much more time spent. You're going to understand that position on a much, much deeper level than someone that's spending less time there. And that's true for all positions, not just ankle locks. But ankle locks, there tends to be a large gap, and people know when to take advantage. The rest of the time in this video, we're just going to spend looking at the technical application. From here, Brad does what he's done in his matches up to this point. He's going to look to pull a single leg X guard. See how he has a collar tie, goes double wrist grip, right to a single leg X. Now remember, the next step is to put Chris's butt on the floor. And in Chris's situation, he should immediately put the boot on, drive his foot in, and try to get a hold of Brad's wrist or arm. Let's take a look again. Chris pushes the foot off the hip. That's smart. Grabs the head. That's smart. He tries the back step. Now this is where he gets caught and he gets knocked to the floor. But right here, Chris needs to grab Brad's forearm or rear naked choke his elbow. But instead he tries to hop around to the side, and that doesn't work because Brad already has the ankle lock applied. If he was adjusting the ankle lock, that would be the time to jump over the knee. This last one involves some nice adjustments. Dave is in a single leg X here. He knocks Dylan down to his butt. Now, as he's trying to apply the ankle lock, Dylan has the right idea. He's trying to grab the arm, but see how Dave just kind of keeps shaking it off? He's not letting Dylan establish a grip. He has the grip here. He's able to free his arm and just circle his hand and get away. That pull takes a little bit of the heat off the ankle lock, usually enough to prevent the submission, but see, as he had no grip, he had to tap. Advice, put the boot on. Put the boot on means point your toes up, flex your foot, and drive in. If he's ankle locking you on your calf, it's not going to be as much pressure. And if you feel like it's tight, grab his wrist, or like I said, rear naked choke the elbow. Feed your arm all the way through. Then you have a pull where you can pull him towards you, and he's not just going to be able to turn away from you and crank on your ankle and get the submission. Like I said, Dylan has the right idea, trying to grab the wrist, but no gi is slippery. It's a little bit different situation than the gi, so you really have to pay attention to where your grips are. Even if he could potentially grab the back of the head, that would prevent the ankle lock too. But Dave made a nice adjustment here and was able to get the finish. That's ankle locks in a nutshell.